Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, it's no secret that I really dislike Kabam forums. I do think that forum moderators often are over-controlling bunch of... And the forums in general are filled with Kabam White Knight mental crowd that will derail any kind of like negative or constructive thread. And the forums in general are just a miscellaneous place where you can say whatever you want as long as it's good, and if it's bad, that there's about 50% chance that Kabam moderator is going to read it and delete it and warn you, even if you do not breach any of the forum rules, just as long as your message does not fit with the narrative or whatever. However, at times there are decent posts on Kabam forums, and there's also obviously quite a lot of information to be found about upcoming things and events in-game. So I do browse the forums fairly frequently. I just never bother posting there really, because it's borderline pointless. There's 50-50 chance my post will be deleted no matter how I word it. And if it's not deleted, then there's another 50-50 chance that, you know, the thread is gonna get derailed by your grounded wisdom or something, whatever. That being said, I've decided that at times there are very good posts that do deserve some more attention. And on this channel, I often give you guys my opinions, my insights, my thought process about things that are happening in the game, whether it be new champions, new piece of content, new events, so on and so forth. I'm not going to be doing that today. What I'm going to be doing is I will simply read out this state of the game open letter by concerned player, word by word, the best I can, and leave it at that. I'll provide you with a link in the video description so you can jump to the forum thread yourselves and leave your comment if you choose to do so. Or if you choose to do so, you can drop a comment in my comment section as well. So let's get to it. State of the game, an open letter to Kabam by ConcernedPlayer999. The last few months has seen this game riddled with input errors and countless other bugs that players are experiencing at various levels. Some have barely been able to play since early in the summer months. Others are not experiencing them at all. Despite these issues, much of the player base has proven their loyalty and stuck with the game regardless. This loyalty, it would seem, is a completely one-way street. The vast majority of the players understand that the input and timing issues that are experienced caused by a buildup of technical debt. And the sole solution is for Kabam to create their own game engine from scratch. To do this correctly it takes a lot of time and is projected to be complete sometime early in 2022. Details to come. We understand that this technical debt was built by Kabam trying to make the game a better playing experience, and because of the increasingly complex coding required to run a game with so many game modes, playable characters, events, nodes, and other necessary gaming components. Those issues set aside, Kabam has completely failed to uphold their end of the bargain when it comes to addressing recurring issues facing players in the battle realm that could show the players some good faith and keep things lively, entertaining, and uphold the commitment Kabam made in the original dev diary. Communication. For the lack of better word, Kabam's communication with the progress of the game development is pathetic. Maybe twice a year they release a dev diary outlining what they might be providing the player base, just hoping that these improvements and commitments will entice players to hang around just a few more months more. Improving is in quotes, as depending to who you ask, the improvements are often a 50-50 toss-up as to the impact of the change. These dev diaries have done a good job in detailing some of the quality of life changes and other concrete items that have been implemented since. But the major themes and messaging is either ignored, forgotten, or completely and purposely thrown out of the window nearly as soon as they are released. Some examples. The commitment to content, community, and creativity. Is there a player in existence that thinks this commitment has been upheld? The last few months have definitely proven it has not. How many fights have had to end in a light attack to fulfill an objective in the last 3 months? Forums, alliance chats, and YouTube videos are often debating whether the creative genius at Kabam has died. Keep Alliance Wars dynamic, and nearly every other goal listed in Alliance War Dev Diary. Some absolute top-tier alliances and players will experience this, but for the most part, Alliance War has become a chore that too high a percentage of the player base does not truly enjoy. Constantly adding more attack defensive tactics is just not cutting it. Refer back to the commitment, how this has been acted upon. Reduce player mental load. To quote the Dev Diary, asking players to draft complex battle plans, accomplish a single path in a story content is a big ask, which is why we're reducing the size and complexity of all our maps. We're focusing more on designing less complex buffs, as well as layering fewer overlapping buffs on encounters. Kabam did a fantastic job at maintaining the less than 70 energy and 6 lanes per map practice that was started in 7.1, but anyone who ventured into 7.3 realized their commitment to less complex, easier to plan routes has been completely done away with. This issue applies to Alliance Wars as well. Even when Kabam took the risk of addressing playing concerns and having Ask Me Anything session, the responses seemed structured to the point of being scripted. Major questions were ignored, the party line answers were on repeat, and not much of worth came out of this event. Prof. Hoff had much more informative, entertaining, and real experience with Kabam Broccoli interview as the designer was leaving the company. To summarize, Kabam has a lot of work to be done in this area. The constant let them eat cake responses to true player concerns and criticisms, the patronizing and passive-aggressive responses from forum mods, and the lack of follow-through on their own commitments to better communication needs to end. Resource gateways. Model Concept Champions has relied on resource gateways to bar progression since its inception. It's a good mechanic and keeps players working towards the next level when it's not handed to them. Over the last year or so, these gateways have become incredibly unbalanced and need immediate reworking to restore some semblance of control for players wanting to progress, control their champion growth, and general enjoyment of the game. ISO and Gold. These two resources have become the focal pinch point for a variety of players, and there has been zero recognition change from Kabam to address this issue. The demands for these resources have increased dramatically with the introduction of rank 5 5-star champions and the availability for many players to regularly take 6 stars to rank 3. The demand has increased, yet Kabam has done literal nothing to address the supply. The equation needs to be addressed immediately. Tier 4 basics, Tier 4 class catalysts. Somehow mid-game gateways have respawned as major hindrance for the end-game players. How is it that advancing in the game actually inhibits your ability to get what is now a commonplace resource? This does not make any sense and needs to be addressed immediately. Completely bugged new content. This is the most self-explanatory and the most recent issue experienced by the players. How is it even possible that nearly every single level of the new variant is absurdly bugged in one way or another? How is it even possible for bosses with mechanics that have been in the game for years now are functioning in the completely wrong way? How is it even possible that the final boss cannot be beaten by the specified champions the entire event is centered around? Again, for the lack of better words, it is absolutely, utterly, and completely pathetic. Minor bugs here and there are expected, understood, and played around, for the most part. To be experiencing game-breaking mechanics in nearly every single piece of content released over the last year is wearing down the players and getting to be too much. Even the pinnacle, Summer event, Summer of Pain, was given to the public with such an obvious issues that a single playthrough by an experienced player would have caught the issue. Champions are regularly being released and take months to develop, deep dives and spotlights available in advance, yet when they are playable, it is only a day or two before some mechanic is not working as intended, or the most basic game-breaking mechanics have not even been accounted for. Kitty Pryde and Icarus being the most recent examples that come to mind right away. The Guillotine rework won't be mentioned. How are project managers in this company not completely embarrassed by the quality of their work and ensuring they do a better job? It should not be up to the players to find the problems created by the design team. Whew. Miscellaneous issues. In absolutely no part of the game should the value of a 6-star be weighed the same, let alone less, than a 5-star in regular parts of the game. ISO payouts, even point values, max dupe returns, etc. Rewards in the vast majority of the game need to be retuned to player progression. CAV-EQ, 4-hour events, 3-day alliance, summoner advancement, etc. Rewards need to be equivalent to the difficulty. This month's CAV-EQ, Terex mini-boss, and side quests are prime example of this issue. Content has become incredibly stale, repetitive, overcomplicated, and creatively dead. Some sort of targeting mechanic needs to be implemented. The wish list Crystal Kabam spoke about years ago now would have been a step up here. Even dual crystal returns are a rare return for the champion players are wanting to acquire and do not do anything for acquiring a relevant 6-star champion. To conclude this open letter, Kabam needs to realize how quickly its player base is dwindling and struggling to find reasons to continue playing. Players that have been here since the beginning with 5+ years of investment are wondering why they should bother to continue on this road. It has been years and years of Kabam committing to be better than objectively doing nothing to listen to the major concerns, doubling down on their misguided decrees about the game, and doing the most minimal patchwork to fix things each month. The most disheartening part of all of this is that these issues listed barely cover player concerns, and the fixes are beyond blatantly obvious. Listen to your players, Kabam. We want you to do well. Many of us want to give you our money. All of us want to keep playing this game, just not the way it is now, and not down the road you're taking it. Sincerely, an extremely concerned 5-year-plus player. Right, that is it. As I said, I could talk for hours in regards of the issues mentioned in this letter, but I won't. This video is not going to be my opinion piece. It's just me doing my best to give this post, this message, this player's thoughts a bit more reach. Let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the